When the Dragonborn first awakens in Skyrim, dazed from the chaos of Helgen's destruction, the world opens not with grandeur, but with stillness. You step into a quiet forest, a slow river winding beside the road, mountains on the horizon, and soon after you arrive in Riverwood, a tiny lumber town tucked into the southern edge of the Whiterun Hold. It feels safe, it feels calm. Birds sing in the trees, smoke curls lazily from chimneys, and the townsfolk smile, offering food and a place to rest. Riverwood seems to promise peace after the terror of Helgen, but like all things in Skyrim, peace is an illusion. Beneath the idyllic surface, Riverwood is perhaps the most precarious, exposed, and endangered settlements in the entire province. It exists on borrowed time, vulnerable from every direction, geographically, politically, and even mythically. This is the story of Riverwood, the most dangerous town in all of Skyrim. Riverwood's greatest danger is its location. It sits in the narrow valley between Helgen, a smouldering ruin after Alduin's attack, and Whiterun, the first major city encountered by most travellers. On a map, this looks convenient. In reality, it's a death trap. The town lies directly on the path of the main road connecting the southern mountains to central Skyrim. Bandits, wolves, bears, and worse all pass through this corridor. Riverwood's only real defense is a few watchmen with axes and a gate that barely counts as a fence. And yet, the villagers remain. They cut lumber, trade pelts, and carry on with their lives in the shadow of Helgen's ashes, never realizing that the next threat could be minutes away. Riverwood is a border town in the truest sense, half wilderness, half civilization, and that makes it uniquely exposed. Riverwood's danger begins with its proximity to Helgen, the site of Skyrim's opening execution and Alduin's catastrophic return. When the Dragonborn flees the burning city, they follow the river down to Riverwood, bringing the story's chaos with them. In a single day, Riverwood becomes the first town in Skyrim to learn that dragons have returned. Hadvar or Roloff, depending on your choice, rushes to warn the locals, and the player delivers the message to Alvor, and ultimately Whiterun itself. This moment marks the beginning of Skyrim's dragon crisis. The apocalypse literally begins here, not in the cities of kings, but in a small sawmill village. The people of Riverwood don't realize it, but they stand at the edge of the end of times. Dragons will soon burn cities, bandits will infest the roads, and the war between Stormcloaks and Imperials will divide the land. Riverwood's role as the first witness makes it a magnet for chaos. Unlike walled cities such as Whiterun or Windhelm, Riverwood is completely open. There are no guards at the gates because there are no gates. The road simply flows into the village and out again, inviting travellers and trouble alike. This openness is part of its charm. It feels free, welcoming, natural. But it's also a death sentence. Bandit strongholds dot the nearby hills. Embershard Mine to the west, Bleak Falls Barrow to the north, Valheen towers down the road. Each one holds dozens of armed raiders who could descend on the town at any time. And what does Riverwood have in defense? A handful of lumberjacks, a blacksmith, and a dog. Even the local inn, the Sleeping Giant, offers no refuge. Its innkeeper, Delphine, hides a secret that could destroy the entire town if discovered. She's one of the last remaining Blades, the ancient dragon hunters hunted by the Thalmor. Riverwood doesn't just lack walls. It lacks the faintest awareness of how vulnerable it truly is. To the townsfolk, the Sleeping Giant Inn is a cozy place to eat and drink. To the Thalmor, it's a ticking time bomb. Delphine's quiet presence in Riverwood hides one of the most dangerous secrets in Skyrim, the survival of the Blades. Her room in the inn contains weapons, armor, and documents tying her directly to the fall of the Thalmor's enemies. Once the Dragonborn becomes entangled in her cause, Riverwood transforms from a sleepy village into the headquarters of a dragon-hunting rebellion. Dragons fly overhead. Ancients of the Thalmor begin to appear in Skyrim's cities. Every secret meeting, every whispered plan, it all begins in Riverwood. That means one wrong word, one careless traveller could doom the entire town. Riverwood's greatest danger isn't a beast from the wild. It's the secret beating heart of revolution within its walls. Skyrim's civil war divides the land into blue and red, Stormcloaks and Imperials. Riverwood lies directly between them, both geographically and ideologically. The sawmill owner is a Stormcloak sympathiser. Alvor the blacksmith leans Imperial. They are family, brother and sister-in-law, and yet their beliefs split down the middle. Their quiet arguments echo the larger conflict tearing Skyrim apart. This means that if the civil war were ever to intensify in the Whiterun Hold, which it does, Riverwood would be the first casualty. The road between Windhelm and Solitude runs straight through it. Armies would trample it underfoot long before reaching Whiterun's walls. Even without armies, the town's population reflects the war's moral tension. Refugees, deserters, and spies all pass through Riverwood, bringing secrets and strife with them. In every way that matters, Riverwood stands in the eye of the storm. To the north, looming over Riverwood stands Bleak Falls Barrow, one of Skyrim's most iconic and dangerous ruins. From the village, you can see its stone towers piercing the mountain fog. It's ancient, imposing, and filled with Draga, the undead remnants of Nord's long dead. Within its depths lies the Dragonstone, a map of dragon burial sites, the very object that launches the Dragonborn's quest. But for the villagers, Bleak Falls Barrow is simply a menace. Bandits infest its lower halls, using it as a base of operations. They raid travellers on the road below, cutting off trade and isolating the town. That a ruin of such danger sits directly above Riverwood makes the town's peacefulness feel absurd. It's like living in the shadow of a graveyard that never sleeps. At any moment, death could walk down the mountain and knock on the town's door. Even without dragons, bandits, or war, Riverwood's environment itself is perilous. The surrounding wilderness is crawling with wolves, frostbite spiders, and bears. The river that sustains the town also floods, erodes, and carries away unlucky travellers. The lumber mill, its economic lifeline, is one accident away from a tragedy. And then there's the isolation. With Helgen destroyed, Riverwood's southern approach is blocked. Its only real lifeline is the road north to Whiterun. Should that road ever fall into bandit hands or become impassable, the town would starve. For a settlement built on survival, Riverwood survives only by luck. Riverwood isn't just a town, it's a metaphor. In Skyrim's narrative structure, it represents the illusion of normalcy. After escaping Helgen's destruction, you enter Riverwood and exhale. It's a place of rest, of reprieve, but beneath that calm lies the truth. Peace is temporary, danger is eternal. This duality defines Skyrim itself. Every village, every ruin, every quest walks the line between beauty and violence. Riverwood just hides it better. The fact that this tiny, defenseless town is the first to stand in the path of dragons speaks volumes about Skyrim's world, where even innocence is marked for destruction. Riverwood endures not because it is strong, but because Skyrim's story needs it to. It is the eye of the storm, the fragile calm before every quest, every revelation, and every battle. It stands where dragons first return, where heroes first rested, and where hope first took root, but that hope is always just fragile. Riverwood's beauty is its curse. It is too close to danger, too far from help, too trusting in a world that has no mercy. And so, though its river runs gentle and its people kind, Riverwood remains the most dangerous small town in Skyrim, a place where peace exists only because the storm has not yet arrived.